Sound preset Editor Zenith One has 600 memory locations, divided into 15 sound families where you can store the sound presets. For each family, there are 5 pages available, and you just need to press the box multiple times to view the available pages. To modify or create a sound preset, you need to enter the editing mode in this way. Identify an existing or empty sound preset allocation. Hold down the memory allocation box until the editor window opens, which consists of 3 pages. Each sound preset is made up of 4 overlapping voices. The first 3 form the main sound preset. The 4th is the second voice, which can be activated via the button on the home page. For each voice we have 4 rounds. Robin, that is, we can vary randomly. The sound, having 4 alternative sounds to the first one, which are then played randomly. For each voice you can set the range, that is, from the lowest note to the highest, the velocity, which is the dynamics from 0 to 127, the transposer in semitones, the volume, and the reverb send. Here it is. Sound preset editor is page 2. We can also set the panpot, the detune, the attack, the decay, the release, and finally the cutoff and the resonance. Sound preset editor, page 3. On the 3rd page, it is possible to activate or deactivate for each voice: the sustain, the expression, the modulation, and the wheel. For each voice, it is possible to choose a different sound execution mode. Voice mode. The first is the voice mode normal and right. To achieve morphing and crossfade effects between 2 sounds, you will need to use 2 voices. Thus, it is possible to control them in 2 ways: with the modulation for keyboardists or with the expression for fusion harmonica players. Voice 1, voice mode modulation 127. Voice 1 will be controlled with the keyboard's modulation wheel. The maximum volume of the sound of voice 1 will be reached when the modulation wheel is at position 127. Voice 2, voice mode modulation 0. Voice 2 will be controlled with the keyboard's modulation wheel. The maximum volume of the sound of voice 2 will be reached when the modulation wheel is at position 0. If you want to do the crossfade with the expression, voice, 1 voice mode expression, 127. For accordionists, voice 1 will be controlled with the accordion's expression controller, control change 11. The maximum volume of the sound of voice 1 will be reached when the expression is at value 127, and it will be possible to vary the sound power of voice 1 using the bellows. Voice 2 voice mode expression 0. Again, for accordionists, voice 2 will be controlled with the accordion's expression controller, control change 11. The maximum volume of the sound of voice 2 will be reached when the expression is at value 0, and it will be possible to vary the sound power of voice 2 using the bellows. Another voice mode is where drum set, meaning you can assign a real drum set to a voice to play. Another voice mode is left, which allows, for example, directing voice 2 to the accordion's chord keyboard or to the second keyboard of an organ. Then we have bass voice mode. It allows directing voice 3, for example, to the bass keyboard of an accordion or to the pedal board of an organ. And finally, we have the voice mode duet. It is a function that activates only on voice 2 and is heard only if voice 1 is configured in normal right mode. It allows you to add an instrument in duo mode. That is, it adds the voice 2 sound from the second held note. Therefore, the first held note will be played by voice 1, and the second note will be played by voice 2. Another voice mode is the trio, and it is a function active only on voice 3. And it can only be heard if voice 1 is configured in normal, right, mode and voice 2 in duo mode. It allows you to add an instrument in trio mode. It adds the voice 3 sound from the third held note. Therefore, the first held note will be played by voice 1, the second note will be played by voice 2, and the third note will be played by voice 3. And at this point, we think about saving our sound preset. You can select an image to associate with the sound preset. And then press save. Assign and write the name of the sound preset and press save. At this point, your sound preset is saved. Is everything clear? If you have any questions, write a comment below.